the British Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Sainz gets away well, as does Lando Norris, as does Lewis Hamilton, who's already ahead of Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen into Abbey takes the lead ahead of Carlos Sainz, and at the back that's George Russell out of this race, who's finished in the top 5 in every race this season, but he's out by the time they get to turn 1. Off the track there goes Charles Leclerc, and the red flag has now come out to make racing redundant. There's the initial content. That's where the car then is upside down onto the gravel, and then it flips and tries to right itself, and as it does so, that's by the barriers, and then it goes over the tyre barrier, and is it Gasly that makes the contact?
Basically, George was coming a little bit left, and they pincered Gasly in the middle, and it's immediately just the face of the tyre contact has just flipped the car completely over.
Stefano Domenicali in conversation with Joe Guanyu, making sure he's okay. Sebastian Vettel goes into the back of Alex Albon, gets the tap, nothing he can do, sent into the barriers, just avoids Daniel Ricciardo, and I think then makes contact with Esteban Ocon. What's going to happen second time around? Here at Silverstone, British Grand Prix, lights out, away we go. They weren't held for long. Sainz comes over to cover off Verstappen, almost pushing him into the pit wall, but he might have to yield this. Does make the move around the outside and stays ahead. Sergio Perez now challenging down the inside. Hamilton's dropped a place or two, and he's now tangling with Charles Leclerc. It's Carlos Sainz out in front, down the inside. Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez make contact. Sainz from Perez, then from Verstappen, then Leclerc, then comes Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton, and Lando Norris now going wheel to wheel with the Mercedes. Sainz into Brooklands he goes. Leclerc tries to go around the outside of Max Verstappen and goes off the track in the process.
That's the second time they've made contact in this lap alone. A much better restart then for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton, unlucky that he got put back into his original grid slot, and he's side by side through Woodcote.
He was side by side. He's now behind Lando Norris. As into Copse we go. There is damage to that front wing of Sergio Perez Red Bull. Perez now comes into the pits. That frees up the McLaren and the Mercedes.
He has to come in and get that fixed.
Right, DRS for Hamilton, not for Norris this time around. Hamilton gaining on Norris, and as we get into Brooklands by the BRDC clubhouse, you can hear the cheers. Ooh. Carlos Sainz going off onto the grass there. I thought he recovered it, but he hadn't recovered it sufficiently. Verstappen sees the error by Carlos Sainz and swoops into the lead at the start of the hangar straight. Verstappen, the championship leader, now ahead of Carlos Sainz. Verstappen's in
very
trouble.
Slow,
Either
very
he's
slow.
gone off the track or he's got a problem with the car, because Carlos Sainz, who 2 laps ago lost the lead to Max Verstappen, is now going to retake the lead, and a crowd absolutely loving that.
Puncture, we think puncture.
Left front takes part of beating. I think I have a puncture or something.
Okay, Max, can confirm it's bodywork damage, loss of rear. It is not critical, so you are able to continue, but you will have a performance loss.
So this is not good enough. We are swapping the cars.
Copy.
Carlos Sainz letting Charles Leclerc past, and Leclerc getting the DRS as well to help him make that move very seamlessly indeed.
I have a problem, guys. I can't exit the corners.
I'll tell you what, if he stops here, we'll get at least a virtual safety car.
Yes, we do have a safety car here at Silverstone. In comes Carlos Sainz, in comes Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc stays out as we get racing again, and Sergio Perez isn't far off Lewis Hamilton, because he could make a charge in that Red Bull. Hamilton's going to be under pressure as Leclerc leads Sainz, leads Hamilton, leads Perez into Abbey.
Yeah, Hamilton struggled for grip off the last corner for some reason. That's put Perez onto him. Perez may have a go up the inside of turn 4, and no, he's going around the outside and switches back as well. Will he get better traction off the corner? He's got the line then.
Oh, and off the track goes Charles Leclerc as Carlos Sainz retakes the lead of this British Grand Prix. Hamilton and Perez are going wheel to wheel. Perez is ahead of Hamilton. Back comes Sainz and Leclerc. Leclerc behind his teammate Carlos Sainz, who at the restart didn't think about the team, thought about himself, and wants to win a race for the first time. Perez is catching Charles Leclerc, he takes him towards the inside. Perez on the inside, Charles Leclerc gives him just enough space. Can Perez squeeze past? They're going wheel to wheel towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track, cuts the chicane, off goes Leclerc, through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff coming out of the final here. Perez and Leclerc going for it. Hamilton says thank you very much. Another thing opens up for him.
Perez comes up the inside, he's taking the place back. Hamilton hangs it out around the outside. He's run out of road. Leclerc's still in the hunt as well.
So Leclerc trying to get that place back from Hamilton. He has. Hamilton was forced off the track. I wonder what will be said about that. But goes through Charles Leclerc, who's got DRS to pull away from Lewis Hamilton. And arriving on the scene, Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris as well. 5 cars separated by about 20 metres here. Perez goes through. Hamilton gets just blocked a little bit by Leclerc. Here comes Fernando Alonso down towards Cobb.
Hamilton had to get out of the throttle, he was pushed to the outside there, and Alonso then couldn't make anything of that.
There goes Hamilton round the outside at Brooklands. No, can't get past there, but he forces Charles Leclerc wide, and now through Luffield, he's just inching ahead, urged on by the crowd, the roars of the crowd, willing Hamilton back onto the podium, and he does move up into 3rd place. Can he hold that position though, going into Cobbs? They're going side by side, Leclerc and Hamilton through Cobbs. Wow, what great drama, what great entertainment. And there is Charles Leclerc still ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
And Leclerc will not give up, despite his tyres.
He might have to now though, because Hamilton's a lot closer, and DRS finally helping Hamilton get ahead and potentially stay ahead. And you can hear the roars of the crowd, whatever colour caps they're wearing. A man making his 150th start from pole position is going to take victory, and for the first time in Formula One, Carlos Sainz is victorious. He wins the British Grand Prix. Sergio Perez, a brilliant recovery from him, takes 2nd. Lewis Hamilton's on the podium for a 13th time here at Silverstone. Carlos Sainz on top of the world, on top of the podium after a tip-top British Grand Prix.
And the Singapore Grand Prix is go! Good launch off the line by the P3 man. Charles Leclerc is trying to take 2nd place. Carlos Sainz holds the lead. Charles Leclerc does take 2nd place. And Lewis Hamilton is all over the road. He had got past Lando Norris, but he rejoins. Does Norris get back ahead of him? That's the question. No, Hamilton takes that 3rd place on the road. Does he give the position to his teammate? The 2 Mercedes side by side. It's a Ferrari 1-2 at Marina Bay. George Russell will want that place back. Hamilton was all over the road as the sparks fly as they make their way down to turn number 5. Does Hamilton give the position back? Can he keep him behind? There's a late lunge by Nico Hülkenberg to the inside. It's a Ferrari 1-2 out front, David.
Yeah, but Hamilton's going to have to give that place back. He's gained an advantage.
So you're going to let me back pass, or...?
They've swapped back the Mercedes. George Russell's gone through and up to 3rd position, so they've been on the radio, and there is the switch. Lando Norris now in 4th place, and Hamilton back to where he started the race in P5. Further back in the pack, we're on board with Oscar Piastri, and that is the contact that has cost the AlphaTauri there. And we did see Yuki Tsunoda a few moments later become our first retirement from the Grand Prix.
Yeah, Perez just Perez, honestly.
Logan Sargent off the road, and the American driver who is fighting for a contract next year hits the wall, and then a major intervention, DC, a full safety car deployed. Well, into the pits we come. This is a moment that could change the race. And is there a opportunity? First of all, in comes Carlos Sainz. Was the 2nd Ferrari in as well in the background? Yes, it
Driving
was.
slowly. Yeah, you can see he hung back there, forcing the Mercedes to have to drive slowly as well. So this could benefit the McLaren, actually.
Okay, so everyone is making their way in, and did Sainz get out ahead of Max Verstappen there?
Verstappen didn't manage to take the lead, so all of that strategy has gone out of the window for Max. He didn't pit, he still has to, and he doesn't have clear air. That's huge.
This is Alonso coming into the pits.
Look at the damage. Has he got some damage?
He's gone over, that'll be 5 seconds. This is Charles Leclerc's slow stop for Ferrari.
What happened there?
We had to hold you for traffic.
Yeah, Hamilton crawled into his box because he couldn't get in, because Russell was there.
And it's Sainz, Verstappen, Russell, then Perez and Norris. Verstappen and Perez are expected to be a lot slower in this initial phase than the cars around them. Good run now for George Russell. Russell's all over the road. Does he get a nose to the inside? Brilliant pictures of 2 overtakes at the same time. Russell gets past Verstappen, and also going through is Lando Norris. Lewis Hamilton was very close to Perez, and he's not able to get by, but Russell is up to 2nd. Norris is up to 4th. There is Lando Norris taking the position away from Max Verstappen and improving to the podium places. It's Sainz, then Russell, then Norris as Max Verstappen drops to 4th.
Lewis Hamilton comes and Verstappen puts up no defence. He has resigned himself.
Goes Lewis Hamilton, and he takes 4th position. Verstappen knows that it's about extending the stint now. Fernando Alonso to the inside of Sergio Perez and taking the position away. There's still a little bit of traction left for Perez. 3 into 1 corner, will not go. Round the outside goes Esteban Ocon, side by side with Fernando Alonso, who's wide at this part of the circuit, and somehow they're in the same order that they left. Oh no, they're not, because here comes the Alpine. Better traction, and that will be the position. Fernando Alonso refuses to give it up, but he'll have to, and Ocon moves up to 8th. A record-breaking run of 10 Grand Prix victories in a row, and you have to celebrate it when you're in the form like that, because things can easily change in Formula One. It is Ferrari, then Mercedes, then McLaren out front, and Max Verstappen is down in 15th position. Great drive will go unrewarded for Esteban Ocon, who is pulling off some fine moves there, and he will park up. He's out.
No! No!
He hit the curb coming out of the last corner, and then it's like he's in 6th gear, but he's not driving. So is that clutch?
And the Mercedes drivers have elected to give up track position at a street circuit and to make moves to try and fight for victory in Singapore. The virtual safety car is ending. It's a slow stop for Aston Martin at the back of the car. The rear jack that was redesigned for the new aerodynamic part at the rear of that car, and the car slipping off the jack as a result. Fighting Joe Guan Yu, who started from the pit lane, the team that is currently Alfa Romeo. There will be Sauber, late send from the world champion, and Max Verstappen fights his way back to the points. And George Russell is close now. He's got an opportunity. This is his first real run on the Ferrari driver ahead. Go to the outside line, says Charles Leclerc, but then it's the up and under attempt from George Russell. This is the traction race we were telling you about. George Russell's got a chance now to win this Grand Prix, because he's fought his way by and he's taken 3rd place. And Lewis Hamilton is the 2nd Mercedes on the charge. Lewis Hamilton fights away by, and the team are fighting their way by to the front of the field now. 3rd and 4th for Mercedes.
Gasly can't turn the car. Now we'll get DRS, and this should be a relative drive-by to the outside. Switch back.
Let's see if he can get by. Gasly will try and hang on to it, but Verstappen's got the better grip. He's got the place, and at turn 14, he is up to 6th.
Lando 0.8 behind, 0.8 with DRS. Russell no DRS. Yeah, it's on purpose. Copy that.
George Russell was able to set up the move before. He's really close this time. Russell having the defensive shape thrown, but now there's an opportunity to stand on the power. The 2 British drivers go wheel to wheel. George Russell trying to fight his way by. Will that be the inside line? No, Norris gets his elbows out, and that could have won the race for Carlos Sainz. Russell knows he needs to try and make the place right now. Hamilton was giving his teammate the hurry up, but Sainz's tactical awareness may well have won him this Grand Prix on the 62nd and last lap. He's got a great advantage now. The charging Mercedes might be denied, but look at the top 4 on this last lap, nearly glued together.
Yeah, they're still fighting on, but there's only one more DRS zone left, and Russell, if he wants to win, needs to make 2 positions. So has Sainz now done enough? Can he get away from Norris? That's the next question. Lando's still pushing for the win. Russell's off!
George Russell into the wall and out of the race. The British driver who was charging for victory is out on the last lap, and he's in the Tech Pro.
On board, final lap, and you see Norris there with the right rear and Russell with the right front. He did take out quite a bite of that wall with the right rear. Opens up that corner, and the wall just juts out slightly, and that was George.
George Russell, who was dreaming of a 2nd career victory, but it's heading to this man instead. Formula One at its absolute finest. Carlos Sainz, tactical brilliance. Carlos Sainz, the winner of the Singapore Grand Prix. Lando Norris in 2nd place, and a charging drive from Lewis Hamilton puts him on the podium once again in Formula One, and it's side by side across the line. Leclerc hung on by 0.2 of a second. Ferrari's first victory since Austria last year. Red Bull's perfect season ends at Grand Prix 15. Their phenomenal winning run is over, ended by Ferrari's Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris matches his personal best in Formula 1 with second, and Lewis Hamilton a charging third for his 196th podium. And Formula 1 is underway in Melbourne. Good reaction time at the front of the field for Carlos Sainz, but his path is blocked by Max Verstappen, who has the lead. Norris maintains third, Verstappen, Sainz, and then it is Lando Norris. A clean route through for all of those in the field. It'll be 19 now that Zhou Guanyu joins the race. It's Verstappen with the getaway that he needed. Then it's Sainz, Norris, Leclerc stayed ahead of Piastri. It's getting very, very tight between Perez and George Russell, and it's Russell who finds his way to hang on to the place. He moves up to 6th position, Perez down to 7th. It's as you were ahead. Here we go, the best chance to get past his old teammate. These two started life in Formula 1 together at Toro Rosso, and they're about to go wheel to wheel. You're watching a Ferrari take the lead of the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz, first opportunity offered up, first opportunity taken, and the man who didn't race in the last round leads in round 3. The smoke.
It is smoke out of the back of Verstappen's car. For the first time in 2 years, reliability could be a question mark.
Can you believe what we're seeing? The man who has finished every Grand Prix since he retired from this one in 2022 has smoke from the rear of the car. Max Verstappen has an issue. He's still very close to the lead of the Grand Prix, but he might not have a tyre left at the end of it.
Where's that smoke coming from? Is it something on the rear right?
It's gone! It's gone! The man who was trying to win 10 Grand Prix in a row for the second time in his Formula 1 career will not continue the run. A fire at the back of the car. The dreams of victory gone.
Smoke. Blue smoke. Fire.
He has had Formula 1 set to easy, week in, week out, but he will not see the flag. He's retiring from the Australian Grand Prix, and in Melbourne, it's game on to win the Australian Grand Prix. And the World Championship leader, chasing title number 4, the first retirement against all expectations, and his 43 race finishing streak in Formula 1 comes to a fiery end.
Yeah, I've had an engine failure.
Oh, okay.
Engine failure.
Hamilton out of the race. Our second retirement of the day. It's Verstappen and now it's Hamilton. And Mercedes have had a few worries about the power unit. This time it's taken out their 7-time world champion driver. The virtual safety car is now deployed. That was always coming. And everyone reduces their pace. If you pit under the virtual safety car, you save yourself about 7 seconds.
But look at the way Hamilton's parked as he gets out of the car. That'll take just seconds to push behind the wall. Well, there goes the engine in quite a severe way. Sudden cut for Hamilton. Second retirement. And Alonso, if he can scramble to the pit lane, will save himself 6.5, 7 seconds of pit stop time.
Alonso is looking for that benefit. It is a Ferrari 1-2 on track. Then Piastri and Lando Norris, look at how much it pays you back if you pit under the virtual safety car. Fernando Alonso says, thank you very much. You can get rid of that virtual safety car now, chaps. We're ready to go racing again. We look at the live speeds of Russell and Perez building up through the gears, heading to 190 miles per hour and heading to an overtake. If Perez can just get close enough, does he have enough road to sweep around the outside? There is your answer. He did it in the final meters of the corner, but he got the move done. Russell, does he launch one to the inside? Can he launch one to the inside by way of response? The answer is no. Perez, P6, and that's another pass for him. He will go chasing Fernando Alonso. We know that in the final stages of this run, that Fernando Alonso will not have the speed of Perez. In fact, Alonso darting out of the way, doesn't want to get mixed up in the Mexican driver's race. And now that is 5th position for Perez, who has a bit of clear air. He's going to try and do something about the 4 in front of him.
There's the call. This is not going to be popular amongst the Aussies, but he's going to pull over and Norris will sweep through for 3rd.
Piastri playing the team game. Norris is on tyres that are 5 laps younger than Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc covering off the two quick drivers behind. It's going to be tight. Perez, Alonso chasing. 2.1 second stop was so important. This is going to give an opportunity now to Fernando Alonso. The three of them together. And Alonso's got a great opportunity. Which way does he go? Leclerc maintains track position. And Alonso, despite soaring to the left, to the right, can't find his way past Perez. And that was closer than Ferrari would have wanted. When you see Verstappen go out of the race, you know there's a point on offer for teams who need to take their chance. And Alex Albon running as close as he dared to the back of the Haas, but not on the side of the racetrack that he needed to be. And Hülkenberg scampers clear. All the while this goes on, Tsunoda with RB's most important pit stop of the year so far, and he's back out ahead of both.
They're so dangerous. Moving.
This is how Oscar Piastri was able to take the position on the outside and then shown part of the racetrack he hasn't seen before, then given room by Fernando Alonso. This is Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. Bomb move. And taking the place away from his old teammate and good friend. Just out of the points, these two. Kevin Magnussen thinking about the move to the inside. My word. Oh, he's thinking about it from miles back. He is all over the back of the Williams. It's going to be quick again. It's going to be very fast. This time, around the outside to take the place. Kevin Magnussen gets the move done. Oh, big crash! George Russell with a massive accident at the end of the Grand Prix at turn number 6, and that will end the race as a contest. The virtual safety car is out. George Russell was battling over 6th place, and this is how it came undone.
He got so close to Fernando on the way into the corner. It was just simple dirty air for Russell. And just simply didn't have the airflow over his car. Lost a load of downforce, turned in and had a major oversteer all the way to the barriers.
What a performance! What a comeback! A Ferrari 1-2, headed by Carlos Sainz, who wins the Australian Grand Prix.
Yes, we have it. P1, baby, P1. So, baby shark move.
Good job, Carlos.
This is amazing. Thank you, guys. Life is a roller coaster, eh? It is. Life is incredible.
Was a smooth operator.
Oh, I forgot. Smooth operator.
Carlos Sainz, the sensational winner of the Australian Grand Prix with his most dominant drive in Formula One. It says he only won by 2.3 seconds, but he was always in control of that one from the moment that Verstappen was out of the race. Here's what it does to the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen still leads, Charles Leclerc up to 2nd, down to 3rd goes Sergio Perez, up to 4th, our race winner today. In the Constructors' Championship, it's a Red Bull Racing on 97, but look at Ferrari on 93. The battle towards turn 1 begins right now. We leave the line for the Mexican Grand Prix, and it's a good reaction time for Max Verstappen. He's got the inside line, he's got the momentum, he's surely going to get the lead. And now Lando Norris is going to try and power past Carlos Sainz as well. Verstappen has the inside line and the opportunity. How brave will Carlos Sainz be? An immediate spin into the barriers for the V-carb. Off the road goes Carlos Sainz to maintain the lead, and that will be an immediate intervention. It was hard into the Armco. It was a big moment into the barriers for Yuki Tsunoda. He was the driver involved there, and Carlos Sainz feels the need to give the place back to Max Verstappen, having jumped over the road. But it's Verstappen, then Sainz, then Norris, Leclerc. Hamilton got past Russell.
It is an ambitious attempt from Tsunoda. There was barely any room there, but in the end, it's an unlucky one for Albon and for Tsunoda, who end up in a heap. I don't think there was much Albon could do. Squeezed by Gasly. I don't blame Gasly for that either. Gasly doesn't know that there's a very opportunistic driver on the outside of the driver that's on the outside of him.
That contact between Tsunoda, Albon and Gasly was reviewed by race control. It was noted, no further investigation needed. They called it a racing incident.
Fastest lap for Sainz, who's responded then. He's really close.
Is he going to go for the late braking move? He is! That's the lead for Carlos Sainz, and he leaves Turn 2 with the lead. Can he keep it by 3? Max Verstappen trying to apply the power. There will be another DRS zone, which will take the Ferrari further away. First opportunity offered up for Carlos Sainz, and he took it with both hands.
Verstappen's close out of turn 3. Norris is really close behind Max as well. Just so impressed with Sainz's ability on the brakes. Can Norris do the same?
This is brave from Lando Norris, trying to go around the outside. Max Verstappen barges his rival off the road, and the contentious debate of position between the top 2 drivers in the World Championship continues. From Austin to Mexico City, they collide this time. Verstappen throwing it to the inside. They're both off. Extraordinary. Elbows out, brawling between the 2 of them, and Charles Leclerc takes advantage to go up to second position.
Norris is ahead coming into the corner, but Max is good at having the shorter line and releasing the brake at the moment, so they are neck and neck. But let's have a look once again at this part, because now we're on the short burst up towards turn 7. Honestly, that's a bit of a crazy one. To send in a lunge on that corner with no hope of making the exit, it's a hopeless lunge.
It's a 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for forcing another driver off the track. Another 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Let's see how aggressive the 2 Mercedes go, wheel-to-wheel, defensive shape thrown by Lewis Hamilton. Russell has the speed. Can he claim the place? George Russell sweeps by. Outside line becomes the inside line. Becomes 5th position as the Mercedes went wheel-to-wheel, and Russell gets ahead. Alonso going deep into the pit box and retiring. That is not the way he wanted to celebrate 400 Grand Prix weekends, but Fernando Alonso with an issue. Now, turn 4 is an opportunity for Perez. We're seeing so much overtaking. That was a car's width, but only just. And now into another one of the stadium sections. They've made contact, and Lawson stays ahead. Moment of brinkmanship is the damage for Perez.
What the f is this idiot doing? Is he okay?
Turn 4 is turning into a real overtaking opportunity today compared to what we normally see. Lance Stroll now, the Canadian, trying that outside line again. Is he able to sweep by this time to turn the outside line to the inside? Perez doesn't want to give him any room, and once again it's close to contact at the same corner. This is a long, long wait. Someone will be counting to 20, and then the signal will be given to the crew. There it is. And Verstappen serving 2 penalties, 1 for wheel banging at turn 4, 1 for going off the track and gaining an advantage at turn number 8. As Piastri tries to take the place from Pierre Gasly, and Pierre Gasly is not interested in battling the McLaren one bit at all. Up to 10th goes Piastri. A reminder though, Colapinto still needs to stop. This is Oscar Piastri going late on the brakes, looking for the move up against Hülkenberg, and he's able to make a tidy pass. Piastri improves up to 8th position, and that is now 9 places up from where he started the Grand Prix. Magnussen on for his best result in Formula 1 since 2022. He is having the time of his life out there. Oh, big moment off the road, and that's a huge moment of consequence off the road because it opens the door. Lando Norris is through to second place, and Charles Leclerc is lucky that he didn't clatter into the Tech Pro.
The car control on this, though, snaking his way onto the dirt. Norris is through. Leclerc was desperate for the traction because look how close Norris was coming out of here. Bit of wheel spin. How the Ferrari has any wheels left on it.
Look, this is going to be millimetres for Charles Leclerc and clobbering the barrier. He gets on the power, he loses the car. Lando Norris is through to second place. Well, George Russell has hung on lap after lap after lap to 4th position, but is that grip about to loosen? The 7-time world champion and 2-time winner here gets a face full of sparks, goes around the outside and improves to 4th place. The defence ends at turn number 1, and Hamilton's 10 laps of hard work are rewarded. He's now the lead Mercedes in the Grand Prix. Franco Colapinto, Liam Lawson, and contact between the Williams and the New Zealander.
Yeah, that might be debris at turn 12. I guess he's the same idiot that crashed again. You can watch the highlights later. Yeah, I'm watching it now.
it will be only his 4th win in Formula One. He said pole yesterday was bittersweet because it gave him the feeling that Ferrari might be in a fight for a world championship and he won't be there to use it. That realization ignited a fire today. He knows the road back to the front might be long and windy with Williams, but listen to this. The sight and the sound of this crowd acclaiming their winner. Carlos Sainz comes out of the final corner for the final time. Carlos Sainz wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. A fine way to take a 4th career victory. It will be a 10-point swing in the Drivers' World Championship after Lando Norris finishes in 2nd and Charles Leclerc is setting purple sectors, rapid sectors, to give Ferrari a 3rd place and a bonus point in the Formula One World Championship battle for constructors that looks like it's going to be fought between Ferrari and McLaren all the way to Abu Dhabi. Your podium completed by Charles Leclerc with the fastest lap of the race and the point that goes with it.
Yes, this is masterclass, Carlos. Dominant weekend, un mastino. Good job.
Yes.
Make a good weekend, Carlos.
Thank you. This feels good. Forza Ferrari. Gracias, Mexico.
Well, sometimes in Formula One, the most complex of sports, it can be about so much. And you just got the feeling that Carlos Sainz was driving with desire. 4 Grand Prix remain, 2 sprint races, and this 2024 season will not relent. Action all the way from lights out to the waving of the checkered flag.